Hi, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a reading for the collective feminine. So, over the past years, there has been this huge shift happening within both the collective feminine and the collective masculine. And one of the messages I got a couple of years ago was that the pure white light is no longer going to be in the hand of the masculine. It's gonna be in the womb of the feminine. And so it feels like it's almost like the quality of the Hierophant or the quality of the leading star has been shifting here on Earth. It's like evolution is now being held within a different form. So let me try to explain this a little bit. You can see it, I think, quite well in the Hermit card in the tarot, in the Rider-Waite, and in many other tarot decks. The Hermit is an old man, and so that has used to been the model for wisdom during patriarchy. So for the longest time, the wisest one in a community was the old and experienced man. It was the man with the gray hair, the gray beard. Now that has been changing over the past couple of years, and it's almost like the wisest one within the community is gonna be the people that can see their own womb. And that is kind of like symbolic, our womb is our energetic body in a sense. It's our inner moon, our lunar power, our subconscious. And so that's what's been shifting now, is that the wisdom evolution is no longer coming through the old books. It's no longer coming through the wise men of the past. It's actually coming through the present moment. It's coming through our subconscious. We're being guided through our bodies at this point in time. And so as a result, the feminine, the conscious feminine, the awoken feminine is becoming more important in our collectives. And I think we will see that. I think this is probably going to be one of the last eras where we see that we have all of these outdated gray men in leading positions in society. It's like, I think people are gonna learn a lot of lessons as to why that may not be that beneficial. So that's one thing, but the way that we can really feel this within ourselves is that the same pattern will repeat itself on an individual level as well. And so the part of us that has learned a lot through society, through books, by listening to the big man, of society, this part of us is actually going to be less able to predict what's happening, what's coming in for us now. And the part of us that is more intuitive, more dreamlike, more connected to kind of like the underlying web of nature, of our bodies, of the wilderness, that part of us is much more tuned in, much more in alignment with the flow of evolution. And so this reading is for that part. So let's see what's going on now within our feminine. I feel like there's an opening, I feel love returning actually. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you that have been connected to your feminine and that have held space for your feminine, you've had to go through a long period of kind of being overlooked. It's like the world wasn't ready yet, it's like, and it's still not quite ready. I still think that a lot of people have to learn the lesson of why it's not necessarily so beneficial to listen to these old men at this point in time. For many people, they still haven't really understood that lesson. It's like they're still, so we might see some events that really make that clear on the world scene, and I guess we're already seeing it, you know. How clever is it to have all of these presidents around the world that have become so disconnect with, let's just say, social media, you know, having a president that don't even know of the world of social media, you know. It's like having a fool that's rambling in the dark, you know, being the leader of a country. It's kind of crazy, but still there is a lot of people that really aren't seeing that perspective yet. So why is that coming true? I feel like actually what is happening now, what is going to happen now for a lot of you feminines, you're in acceptance of your darkness in a sense, meaning that you've understood that the world needs to be ready. You've understood that you've understood that you have to be patient. You know what I mean? That it's like you're learning, you're going through this hardship. It's part of your maturation. That's what I'm feeling. It's part of you learning how to hold unconditional love. You not being valued, people making fun of you, people not understanding you, people overlooking you. All of that thing, all of those things. Learning how to handle that and how to accept that and how to just transmute all of those energies, it's making you into a very powerful, energetic being. And so what I think is going to start shifting now is that it's almost like you're going to have more supporters. It's almost like more people are going to start to realize, because there's not a lot of people at this time actually that have been able to hold space for their inner feminine. A lot of people have left their feminine behind in a way, you know. It's like they weren't able to face that energy of the feminine because it has been very dark, it has been very dense, it has been very difficult and unforgiving in a sense, you know. Existing within all of those feelings of being worthless and powerless and bound and not important. And so I think that if you were able to exist within all of those energies, and if you were able to begin to transmute those energies and I'm hearing make love from them, now is when you're gonna start to feel love returning. Love is gonna come back. Love is yours because you built it. For some of you, this is also part of the twin flame journey. You built the love. You know, you did the energetic work. And now it's yours. That's what I'm feeling. So, is there a card for the feminine? I'm just hearing you don't need cards. Some of you, it's like, for some of you, I feel like you've really built your, it's like you've really become one with everything. You don't fear so much anymore. There's not so many things that you actually fear at this point in time. I feel like for a lot of you, you also know that you're protected. You know that the worst possible timelines, they won't be able to come in. You've also, I think for some of you, you've actually left, you've moved maybe. You left certain places just because of this, because you knew that you would be safe here, that you knew that this place on earth is a more protected space. Because again, you read the energy. So let's see, anything. Can we get a message? Okay. Wow, oh my goodness, I love it. The Rainmaker. Wow, I'm hearing so many messages, but it's something about like, for a lot of you, you've gone through a longer period of time where it's almost like you rejected all missions. You didn't want to take on any mission for humanity because it's like you wanted to find your purpose first. You wanted to find like your deep core value first, like your reason for being. You wanted to learn how to be before you started acting and you started kind of sharing your light, or in a sense trying to convince people or trying to influence people. You didn't want to do that until you really found your value from within. And so now that you found your value, I feel like you're more open to receive like your first mission. And there's something about here, like the Rainmaker. I feel like this is two part or three part maybe. Rain, I'm feeling emotion, but I'm also feeling money. So for some of you, actually part of your mission is to make a lot of money, is what I'm hearing. But it's also something to do with the weather. I've actually found that in many times the weather really reflects the collective consciousness of the people living on a specific type of land. It's almost like the energy that the people on the land choose to hold and choose to invest in. It almost reflects in the weather. And so there's something about that again, when it comes to mission. It's about spreading specific also types of frequencies to the people in your land maybe, or in your community, or maybe even worldwide is what I'm hearing for some of you, again, through social media, but there's something about that you have this rain energy, this type of juicy is like emotional, flowy energy. I'm feeling like a very artsy vibe as well, It's like you're free. For some of you, I feel like you've built this inner freedom. You're not afraid, again, to surf on your feelings and to go real deep and dark and then just like burst into ecstasy. It's like I'm feeling for some of you, you're just so free within your emotional body, or you're about to be. Like you've been building that fabric is what I'm hearing. Like when you say like a fabric of reality, it's something like that. You've been building a specific type of fabric of reality that allows you to really, really like be wild within your vibration, within your emotional side. And I feel like that's part of the mission for some of you. You're here to spread that, share that. So let's just pull one more card. Yeah. But I'm also getting that it has to come from the place of like you already knowing your worth. This mission won't open for you fully until you're in the place of like you really deeply cherishing yourself as a piece of nature, like you seeing yourself as a piece of earth, and you really know how to take care of that land, in a sense, that piece of earth, that nature, you loving it, you really being there for it. Also, I feel knowing what to give it, how to support it, to kind of like bring it into its most abundant and optimal state. So for some of you, you may still be in that process of really learning how to care for your body. And I'm hearing optimize your health. And then it's almost like the wealth will come after. So let's ask for one more energy here. One more. Anything that we need to know. Yeah, okay, so there may be some darkness coming through here, maybe a challenge. So let's see. What's the challenge? The biggest challenge to this then? Wind. Wow. And sacrifice underneath the deck. Wind. Maybe it's actually your mind for some of you. That's the biggest challenge. You know, being busy. I feel for some of you, spinning your wheels too much. Maybe being too busy for some of you. It's like you have too much inspiration as well, I feel for some of you. It's not necessarily, I don't feel it necessarily as negative, but it's just like you have so much inspiration. Maybe you also have a lot of excitement. You know, a little bit of fire I feel here as well. You need to control that. That's what I'm feeling. You need to be masterful of your speed. For some of you, actually, I feel like working with rhythm can be quite good. Different types of rhythm, learning how to speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. You know, really working with like your energetic flow, how you can master it. It has to be based on your will. I feel like with the wind here, I'm getting that, you know, tornado, Dorothy, Wizard of Oz. You know, if your roots aren't strong enough, like if you're not comfortable with the darkness, the dark emotions, being insignificant, not being, you know, other people not understanding you, if you're not comfortable enough with those states, then the wind is gonna take you. Then the wind is gonna dry out your water. You know, the wind is gonna dry out your money, your wealth. So that's what I'm feeling like. The antidote to the wind is going into the dark. You know, is becoming comfortable with those difficult emotions. Those emotions of not being matter, not yet being manifest. People not yet giving you value, understanding you. Learning how to love those hidden states, you know, I feel like will be very beneficial for you. I'm also being drawn out to the fact that it's 63, so the hermit, you know, or it becomes a 9, which is the hermit in the tarot. Individuality, you know, being an individual, a powerful individual, not just a part of the collective, you know, the collective soul. You standing on your own, connecting to your own unique soul, connecting to your own unique root system, which is going to give you the ability to choose. What do you manifest from? When? At what time? With what type of rhythm? You know what I mean? I love it. I feel like actually you're working also with your masculine energy for some of you. For some of you, this can also very much be actually sexual, you know, when we're talking about rhythm and also, you know, creating a lot of water, making things really juicy and flowy and wild. This is definitely creative, you know, it's definitely creative. It's kind of like unlocking these treasures within reality. You know, the things that makes life really worth living. You're learning about that. You're learning about that. That's what I'm feeling. So yeah, I hope this reading was interesting. You're really taking huge strides though, if you resonate with this. So cool. I love this reading. It's so cool. So take care. Hope to see you soon. Bye.